at again, the dark horses, Galway, Tyrone, obviously, Galway had a good result against them in Pearse Stadium. It was obviously 16-13. Obviously, Frank Burns got sent off, was a major talking point in the first half, kind of changed the game. Obviously, Morgan got a black card then as well. So I'm still looking, it was Galway they weren't overly impressive, Stevie, to be honest with you. Obviously, Tyrone
Yeah.
are kind of at a crossroads here as well. So it's look at I would, to be honest, I expected more of Galway. They're my kind of jack horses. Obviously, as my own man, my biggest fear would be them to come through and fucking
No,
you
Galway,
know,
be far away, and they'll not be far away. I've thought Galway last year were very, very good.
yeah,
They
yeah,
had a brilliant season last year. I thought this year in the National League, what they really showed as well too. I just remember those celebrations in the athletic grounds from John Deverley and Joyce and the management team. Really, really, like, it was fist clenching stuff. It was fist pumping to the crowd. It was nearly like one of those moments, like, we've become a hardy bunch of pickers here. We've gone to one of the top teams in Ulster here now. We've gone into their own patch, really passionate athletic grounds. We've dug out a win. I've said this to you before. I do have a wee bit of a doubt and a little bit of concern over the goalkeeping situation. I don't like the way they haven't settled on a number one. I don't like the way they bounce between Power and Gleeson. I've said that now for over a year. They're two good keepers, don't get me wrong, two good lads. But I would just like to see a team that's comfortable with the goalkeeper, and particularly at that level. And I think even players, full back line would like to have a presence, knowing that that's the number one
big
from a
time.
kick out strategies, different types of kickouts, like even their style of kicking. Power's got a lower stinger kick, a lower trajectory in his kicks. All those things matter, and that's my one concern over them. Just that
I
one
I
concern.
I I'll give you a good one here. Obviously, with Mayo, interesting you bring that up because midfielders do bitch and moan an awful lot, and we'll say we had Clarkey obviously in goal and Robbie
Yeah,
Henley. So the two of their kickouts were completely different, and the midfielders, as you said there, it takes a bit of you getting used to, and obviously, this keeper can do one thing. And the other keeper can do another thing. Do you know what I mean? So it's a completely
yeah,
different setup. So it's a good point you're bringing up there in terms of it's a very valid point because I'm sure the going midfielders and the wing backs and the wing forwards are like, a bit of continuity. Power and Gleeson offer two completely different skill sets here, so it's a very good point here. Like, so they went with Gleeson the last day. It'd be interesting if they stick with him now for the remainder of the championship. Obviously,
yeah.
if you're Gleeson, you're kind of thinking at the back of your head, they don't have the full trust in me here. So it's an interesting look at that. That could come back to haunt them here. One interesting thing I thought, McDade, there's certain McDade now wing back. Obviously, they're trying to fit Maher and Connery into midfield.
Yeah,
Like, obviously, want to fit McDade. Like, he's doing very well. Kicked 2 points last day.
yeah, yeah.
Shane Walsh did well. He had 6 points. He seemed to be back to his semi himself. But again, like, it's go on. Sorry, Stephen, go on.
No, see, this is the thing I was going to say. That's the one thing that I think is a positive for Galway. Matthew Tierney was sensational in the Connacht final.
Yeah,
Now, I know they were playing Sligo, but Sligo were on a wee bit of an up.
yeah, yeah.
Obviously they proved at the weekend with the result against Kildare that they can go probably to another level. They're obviously not ready for that level just yet, but they are certainly what you would probably call. I think there's three tiers in football, and I would say Sligo have definitely come from tier three to the
Yeah,
lower edge of tier two without a
yeah.
shadow of a doubt. And you look at Galway in the final. Matthew Tierney was brilliant, absolutely sensational. I think he kicked 1-5 or 1-6. I think he was man of the match. But the next day, then obviously, as you say, Walsh, who was very, very poor in the final, got taken off. I know there was talk about having a flu or something. He popped up with 6 against Tyrone, and I think they've got that in their locker end where they're not heavily reliant now on one man. They're not heavily reliant on Shane to kick 7 or 8 or 9 points. Matthew Tierney can pop up. Finnerty can come off the bench or start. Comer can pop up with scores. Conroy can pop up from the middle of the field. They've multiple avenues for scores, which is going to be ultimately needed. Come the business end when it gets down to the nitty gritty, you're going to need that flexibility and you're going to need that strength and depth. To obviously not to be relying on that one marquee forward, and that is why for me, Kerry and Dublin just little bit of concern that Clifford and Con take those two out, and is there that real mad threat coming from a numerous amount of sources? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, you're looking at it now, like from the, like Mayo got into third favourites here with the bookies. Kerry got still at number two, and I think Dublin number one here. But like you're like Kerry, it was kind of in my head. It was Kerry and Dublin slightly ahead of Galway and Mayo. Like, but now you nearly flipped that around, CB. To be honest with you, like with the results going the way they've been going. Dublin weren't that they haven't been overly impressive in the Leinster Championship. It'd be interesting how they get on against Roscommon now next week to really have a, I know it's in Croke Park, but they'll obviously Kildare put it up to Dublin. Yeah, it'd be interesting how that goes now. But like, yeah, just again, like as you said, game management. I still think Galway are ahead of Mayo in terms of game management.
Yeah.
Mayo are getting better. Mayo are getting better. Don't get me wrong here, but as you know yourself, it'll come down to the last 5-10 minutes in the crunch, last four semi-final, final stages. It'll come down to the last 10 minutes, and that coaching, that fucking game management, that creating that high percentage shot will get them over the line. So I just hope Mayo have learned and can bridge that gap. But we shall see. We shall see. The other